wanted to come say hi again and apologize for being so shy last time. Oh, he's so quiet. He's so shy. Say hi, Bubba. Say hi. This is Zeke. He could walk on his 2 legs for so far. I'll have to do a video for you guys. He could dance and walk around on his 2 legs. Walk all the way around the table on his 2 legs. What else, buddy? What else can you do? He was sleeping upstairs. I went and got him. He was passed out on the couch. Look, he's tired. He don't want to be on the camera. He's too shy. Hey, Zeke.
I'm tired.
Zeke, say hi. See right there? Say hi. Say hi.
Hi, my Zap fam. I missed you all.
Okay, Bobby. What? Okay, so they get a closer look at you, Bubba. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. This is Zeke. This is the Zekester. He's the cutest boy ever.
I am the cutest.
Hi.
I love you, Zap fam.
Zeke. Okay. 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 Oh yeah. I found this cute little video of JJ I'm gonna play for you guys.
Daybell and Monkey Santa.
A, B, C. Say your ABCs, JJ. Say your ABCs.
ABCs.
A, B, C, D.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, J, K, L, M, N, B. Q, R, S, T, Q, R, S, T, U, V. W, X, Y, and Z. No, I know I, A, B, C's. Max, I would choose me.
Yay! Say hi, Mama. Hi, Papa. Say hi, Mama. Hi, Papa.
A, B, C.
Say hi, Mama, and hi, Papa.
Mama, hi, Papa.
Yes!
Oh, why is it so sweet? Man, it makes me sad. Who knows though? You never know. Maybe she'll surprise us all and they'll be fine and they just were in hiding and they come out and they're fine. How awesome would that be? Hey, I hope I am wrong about this because, well, for months, for the first few months, I just had a really strong feeling that they were okay. I really had this hope and was like, no, they're fine, they're okay. I just had this really good feeling that they're okay and they're just hiding. Like, Lori's just keeping them hiding and just being a brat and she just doesn't want to give them up. Not because she cares about them, but just because she didn't want to. It's like a game to her, and she didn't want to lose. I mean, no, I'm not giving them up. You're not going to make me. These are my kids. You're not going to say that I have to. These are mine. I can do what I want. It's almost just like a jerky thing to do. But then, I don't know, with all this other new stuff coming out, I lost hope. And then all this time passing, and then I'm thinking, gosh, well, Ty Lee, is almost 18 years old. Like, if she would eventually have came out or been able to get out, and she wouldn't be hiding this long, right? She would just come out, unless if they were, I guess, either have her brainwashed or they're like, she's trapped and they're forcing her where she can't come out and show herself. Or she really is like brainwashed and manipulated and she's hiding out on purpose because her mom brainwashed her into thinking, nope, this is the right thing to do. I want to stay here with JJ, and who knows. But you would think wherever they are, unless if it is just Tylee and JJ somewhere, and Tylee's just taking care of JJ. So I guess let's just keep a little bit of hope. But I mean, I used to really think that like more that they were okay than they weren't. I really did, and now I'd be surprised if they were okay, I guess, but I guess I have a little tiny bit of hope. A little bit of hope. Anyway, let me see, what else did I want to share? So this is a picture of Stacy, Lori's sister, right here. This must have been when she was actually younger. It looks like she probably could have been in high school there. But then this one you could kind of see, this is on her. So in here you could see her a little bit older. That's probably what she looked like when she died. Was she married to Cope? Because it was, her name changed from Cox to Cope. And sometimes you see it, Stacy Lynn Cox Cope, you know, with the both names, but it just makes me wonder, was she married? So is Melanie's dad a Cope? I mean, was that Melanie's dad's last name? Because remember, this is Melanie's mom. Oh, she does kind of look like Melanie. But I just wonder, was she married when she died? And was she married to Melanie's dad? I don't know. Yeah, I guess this is on the door of Chad Daybell's home in Rexburg. It says there's cameras set up. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I wanted to show you the witness list. Because some people were talking about how it's not true because Chad is married and he doesn't have to testify because you don't have to testify against your spouse. But it even said, and I explained it in the video, that there are certain charges that in Rexburg, Idaho law, that it just, the specific charges that rule does not apply to. And one of the charges that Lori's charged with is a charge that it doesn't apply, that he doesn't have to testify. He does have to, if they want him to. So here's a list, and you can see that he is on the list. And let's see if you guys want to check it out. We have Melanie Gibb. Okay, Melanie Gibb was Lori's friend. I don't know who David Warwick, Chad Daybell. Adam Cox, which is Lori's brother. Zachary Cox. I wonder if Zachary Cox is Adam's son, maybe? Or, well, I guess it could be anybody, huh? Never mind. Brandon Boudreau. Melanie Pawlowski. Ian Pawlowski. Some of these people, I'm not sure. Jason, oh, there's Colby Ryan we talked about, Jack Daybell, Sheila Daybell. That must be Chad's parents. So wait, where is Chad's kids have to testify? Are they on here? Yeah, they have the right to reserve the right to disclose other witnesses in the future, so they can still add witnesses too. So that's the witness list so far. Okay, and then, okay, so here's a couple of funny things that I found on Facebook. These people are so creative and have such a funny sense of humor, I swear. So here's one somebody posted. I wish I could know who the original post, like who made this. I don't know, I'd give you a shout out, but who actually was the original to post this? But Rexburg's inmate of the month, Lori Vallow. Who is this guy, by the way? Wow. But I don't know, I just laughed when I saw that. And then, let me see what else I have. I just kind of saved some of the funny ones I find. Oh yeah, here's a good one. Everyone posts the similarities between the two. So we got that snake and then Lori, so. And then, yeah, there's a lot of similarities. Oh, this is one of my favorites here. Family Guy. Look, he does look like the Family Guy. That guy, I don't even know what's his name on there. I don't really, I've watched it in the past. I haven't watched it in so long, but what's the dad's name? He looks like it with his chins. Oh my gosh. And then, oh, here's, this one's good. It's the Family Guy's face. With Nanny. Well, he just puts it, basically his face on there. Oh my gosh, that's a good one. I like that. It looks like he's looking down at Tammy. Okay, so I think there might be, is there another one? Hold on. Another funny one. Oh, somebody pointed this out, which I did notice that way back, the 666, because I always notice when I see 666 and it just freaks me out, but somebody else pointed that out right there. Okay, and then I did want to read you a couple more things here. I just find random little things, and because there's so many different people in this case, so many different lives that are affected and a part of it, and so many different things like that's going on legally, so many things that happen, all the deaths, all the people, all the beliefs. There's just so many things, and I just keep finding little tidbits of information. And so anything that I find that I haven't put in my video before, I just add to my new videos. So they said some of them could be old information that I just come across that I haven't talked about in a video that I like to add. So there is one thing that is pretty old. I know you guys all know about this, but I don't know if all of you guys have actually read the whole email. The email that Charles wrote to Adam Cox, Lori's brother. I never actually got to read the whole email, and I just came across it, so I figured I'd read you guys the whole email because I saw bits and pieces of it, but I never got to see the whole thing. And then I saw the email that Lori pretended to be Charles and wrote Chad. I saw that email, and then they talked about this email, but I didn't actually get to see the actual email that Charles wrote to Adam Cox concerning this email and concerning Chad and Lori, and he talks about Tammy. So let me read you it for those of you guys that haven't got to see the email. It's pretty interesting, some of the stuff he says, if you ask me. Okay, so it says, Adam, open this letter and see what she did. I'm not sure if the relationship with her and Chad Daybell, but they are up to something. She created an email alias for me, as I have never set this one up. She sent this yesterday, and I guess she forgot all her emails are on a computer at my house. I asked her to explain it, and she started blaming you, Brandon, and me for perpetuating a scheme against her. Just more of her paranoia. She will not explain it. I'm going to send it to Chad Daybell's wife. Her name is Tammy, and I found her email address on their website. I've got her cell number, too. Sounds very suspicious to me. What do you think? Whenever she gets caught doing this kind of stuff, she starts blaming everybody else. Mostly me, you, and Brandon. Brandon and I are the victims of her craziness. I wish you luck trying to help her. I was the only one brave enough to try to get her help in January, and look what happened to me. The whole family put a scarlet letter on me. Maybe now they can see what they are up against. Thanks. So I had seen that first half of it, but I never seen the last half about how she always blames him, Brandon, and Adam, basically. So this letter makes me, brings up a few questions, I guess. First of all, he mentions wishing Adam luck for trying to help her. So did Lori come to Adam and Adam was trying to help her? Is that why Charles said that? So then he mentions that he was the only one brave enough in January to try to help her. And we know January was the time where he took her purse. He tried to have her admitted to get, basically a psych evaluation because she was talking crazy. He was worried, like she's talking crazy. So he basically calls the cops, and he turns this, basically has this order that she has to go and admit herself. I guess he supposedly takes her purse, and then she goes to the cop. Remember the police body cam, one of the newer ones the newest one that came out like a few weeks ago, where her and Tylee are at the police station. So that was what he's talking about, I'm pretty sure, in January, because that was January 31st that happened. When he came home from Texas to, I guess, to take JJ to school and to pick up JJ. He comes home and she cancels his freaking flight home. So he had to go pay $600 for a flight. She canceled it so he couldn't get home. Then he comes home, and Lori she takes him all to a hotel. So basically when he comes home, he's locked out of his house. She changed the locks. He can't get in, so he breaks in, calls the police, sets up this psych evaluation where she has to basically admit herself to a mental facility to get evaluated. Charles is noticing she's been talking crazy, threatening his life, and just acting just crazy thoughts. and he wanted her to get help. And then, so yeah, I guess, remember, he calls Melanie's friend, Melanie Gibb, has her meet her at his house. She thinks it's Lori, and just the craziness. And then he goes to the school to try to, I guess, meet up with Lori, and then she says that he breaks into the car and steals her purse. Because remember, oh yeah, because she took all that money out of the bank. She took it all out of his account, and he couldn't pay his employees. She took $25,000, and then at more, I think it ended up being like $35,000. She took out of his account, out of the business account, so then he couldn't pay his employees, and then his employees are starting to sue him, and he's getting a bad name, and because he's not able to pay him, and she took all the money. So I think what happened is he probably took the purse hoping she had some of the cash that he could get back. It was the freaking business account. He needed to pay the people. Oh, so she goes to the cops and reports him. Anyway, so that's pretty sure that's what he's talking about in January. He was brave enough to try to help her. He's trying to get her help. He's trying to get her some mental help. And look what happened to him. She freaking robs him. His name, his business is all probably screwed up. He was probably still trying to work on it. He's getting sued by employees. He probably was still, even probably in July, because that was just January, he was probably still trying to catch up and get these people paid. And it's probably still affecting him. It was probably still affecting him in July, what she did. $35,000? Yeah. So I think she was supposed to pay some of it back, but did she end up paying him back? I don't think. I mean, that could be another reason, another motive why she had to get rid of him. So she didn't have to pay him back I think that it was settled that she had to pay him back at least $25,000. And then she was hoping to get that insurance money too. So it was all money based. Such a greedy woman. Gosh. So yeah, so he's saying he wishes Adam luck because he tried to help her, and look what happened to him. And then talking about how basically she's spreading all these lies to her family, making him look like this horrible person, making him look like he's the one cheating. Remember, she even said in the police station, oh yeah, I found these texts, and I confronted him because he was cheating on me, which I don't believe that was even true. She was the one cheating on him with Chad. So she's saying he's cheating. She was cheating with Chad for at least a year, calling him out on something she's doing. So yeah, she puts a scarlet letter on him, and now Charles is like, hopefully now they'll be able to see. So obviously Charles knows that she's just crazy, and he's saying, hopefully her family or everybody she's talking crap about me about, hopefully they'll finally see what she's really is, who she really is. So that's very interesting though. So she's always blaming, basically it sounds like she always blames Adam, Brandon, and Charles for anything. It's always their fault. And paranoia, okay, yeah, she's got some paranoia. So yeah, we know that we've talked about how Charles was talking about contacting Tammy. So wonder if he did. When was this here? So this was June 29th, okay? June 29th. He died about 2 weeks after, so he had 2 weeks to contact Tammy. I think he would have contacted her within that week. He had her email, he had her phone number 2 weeks before he died, and he was talking about contacting her. So it just makes me wonder if he did contact her, and then Tammy confronted Chad with this stuff. And that's when Chad was like, okay, we need to do this. We need to get rid of her now, like soon, because she knows about us, and he wanted to keep seeing Lori, I'm sure. And Tammy, if Tammy found out, she was probably going to put a stop to that. And it would have been hard for Chad to sneak around, unless if he wanted to divorce Tammy, which he didn't want to do that because he needed that life insurance money that they were probably planning on getting. I'm sure they were planning on Tammy's death, but I'm sure it sped up the process. If Charles did end up contacting Tammy, and then Tammy told Chad, nope, basically would have stopped him from seeing Lori if she'd given Chad a second chance. If not, if she would divorce him, and then I'm sure Chad was just thinking of that freaking life insurance money. So either she divorces him and then Chad's not the beneficiary anymore, or she works it out but he can't see Lori anymore. So it just might have sped up their plan on getting rid of her. Unless if they were planning on doing it that quick anyway. Who knows? But it does make you wonder if Tammy did find out and she confronted Chad. That's all. So that's that. And then, okay, so one more thing I wanted to read to you guys. I've been looking for these documents and I just found them. I wanted to read them on my other one, and for some reason I thought I had it on my laptop and I actually had it on my phone, so I found them. I wanted to kind of read them to you about the zombie and their beliefs on that. Okay, so this is just some of their rules and beliefs that they have about, just different rules about how it works here. So the first thing is multiple probations. So A, minimum of 9 mortal lives to become exalted, but more to become gods. B, after 2 mortal lives, you can choose to sign a light contract or dark contract. Choosing light or dark isn't permanent. C, you can choose to be reborn if you are satisfied with your progress. D, veil grows thinner each time you are reborn. E, multiple sealings possible, but males can choose one true spouse or have many. So 2 is translation. Translated beings cannot die, cannot reproduce, do not sleep or wait, so this is, remember Lori claimed to be a translated being, but she reproduced. She had Tylee and Colby, so I don't get it. So you're not always a translated being? She just became one? Because she definitely reproduced, right? So that doesn't make sense. But anyway, so yeah, translated beings cannot die, cannot reproduce, do not need sleep or food, and do not feel the sorrow of the world. Well, I could agree with that one of Lori. She don't feel the sorrow of the world. She could care less. She doesn't feel anything for anybody, or doesn't care about, doesn't care about anybody's problems or cares or issues. She don't, so yeah, I guess that one fits her. Injury is possible, but healing is accelerated and it's never fatal. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it's if she's immortal. So I wonder if she eats in jail or she sleeps in jail. If she doesn't need to sleep or eat. Oh, man. So they don't die, but do they age? B, done in multiple phases or tests, usually lasting 3 days. Upon completing the last phase, the Lord appears to be translated. Okay, so physical. Can be any physical ailment, from sexual desire to disease to severe fatigue to emotional. Any emotional, mental ailment. Spiritual. Okay. A great test of faith. A time of darkness and doubt. Sexual. Possible new phase discovered as husband and wife become more united sexually. Possibly increasing power vibration. So wonder if Chad and Lori think, oh, when they became husband and wife, become more united sexually. Well, that makes sense. But then they're thinking they can increase their power or vibration by getting married, and becoming more united sexually is increasing their power and vibration. There are 50 dark translated humans. Oh, that must be what they were talking about on the, what did they call it? Ian was talking about that, about the detectives. Detectives Hope and Hermosillo have been identified as such, as the 50 dark translated humans. Work under the direction of Satan or Lucifer and Cain. So the 50 dark translated humans work under the direction of Satan, Lucifer, and Cain. So 3 is stats, vibration, indication of one's spiritual strength. So I could buy the whole vibration thing. I've done a lot of studying on like vibration and increasing your vibration, and that kind of does make sense to me, the vibration part, but it's not in the same context as this per se. This is kind of out there for me. But I mean, I guess who am I to say anybody's beliefs are wrong or anything, but I'm pretty open. You could believe what you want, but if you're hurting people because of those beliefs, then that's when I have a problem. If you're actually hurting people because of it, and that's what they're doing because of this, because they think that certain people are these zombies that are stuck in this limbo and that they have to die, and no, I'm not okay with that. It should be, if you believe in something, shouldn't your beliefs take care of it? I mean, shouldn't like your God then just take care of that stuff? Shouldn't you believe that? Why do you have to go killing somebody? So yeah, I'm not okay with that. But anyway, so we got stats, vibration, indication of one's spiritual growth. So probably the higher vibration, the more spiritual growth, which makes sense to me, that part. So it says above a certain level, 1,000, garments are no longer necessary. Okay, so once you get above 1,000 vibrations, they're saying that you don't need the garments. Or are they talking about the garments that are in the LDS, that they wear? So this is kind of something based off of the LDS beliefs. Now, I'm not saying it's a part of the LDS beliefs, but I'm saying it's a spin-off of it. It's like somebody that has the LDS beliefs and then they add to it their own, this other stuff added to it. I'm not saying it's a part of the main LDS beliefs, but I'm just saying I'm wondering if it's because I mean, this is Chad and Lori. They both are from the LDS church, so they are basically taking that core set of beliefs and then adding to it things on top of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just wondering how many people are they getting from the LDS church and getting to follow this? Because I don't think it's a part of the LDS, right? Isn't this just like a spin-off of something that some people that are from the LDS faith, and then it's like an add-on to it, but it's not a part of it. You know, they say that a lot of they'll do that. They'll try to get people from their own church and get them basically to come be a part of their group or whatever. I don't want to say cult but just their beliefs and their group. Like I said, I haven't studied that religion that much, so just correct me if I'm wrong. I know I screwed up and I was talking about, I guess I just trust people when they comment on here sometimes. But like I said, I never said that the whole part about the man taking the woman's last name. I never said it was a fact that it's for sure a part of the Mormons. I was just saying that a few people commented that I thought were Mormons and they said that it was common, so I was just saying I didn't know. I guess it might be a common practice, but obviously it wasn't, because I got a ton of feedback of people saying that's not common. It's not common for Mormons for the man to take the woman's last name, and that's fine. I just was going by a couple comments, so I just mentioned it. I knew you guys would come back and let me know if that was true or not. I don't know. I never really studied this faith before, but a few people actually said that under the comments. I think a couple people even emailed me and they said, hey, and then a couple of them were Mormons and they said it is common but obviously it's not a common. It just might be a few people that person knew or something that were Mormons that did it. Who knows? I don't know. But obviously from the feedback, it wasn't a common practice. So I guess my point is, when I'm saying this about what I'm talking about now, I'm pretty sure this is just like a sector. This is just like what Chad and Lori are into and some other people. This isn't the main what the LDS believes, right? That's what I'm just asking. So yeah, so they're saying above 1,000, garments are no longer necessary. Higher vibrations can help to thin the veil a little. Libido, 1 to 100. Indication of sex. Trust level, indication of how much someone can be trusted. Light, dark percentage, indication of how much light and darkness dwell in one's body. Okay, so here's the zombies. Zombies. Human bodies that have had their original spirits forced from them and have been possessed by either a demon, original third of the heavenly host who follow Lucifer, disembodied spirit, once living human spirits who have chosen not to be reborn into another probation, or a worm slug, creature controlled by a Lucifer that enters the body to control the host. B, spirits can be pushed from their bodies during traumatic events or deadly injury. C, spirits pushed out or trapped in limbo as the body they're tied to is still living but cannot be occupied by them anymore. D, spirits trapped in limbo cannot progress to a new mortal life and cannot re-enter their existing body. The only way to move forward is to await the death of their current possessed body. E. This is an illegal action against heavenly law performed by the possessor. 5. Teleportation. When the translated beings are needed, they may, with the Lord's permission, teleport to the necessary location to perform their assigned duties. 6. Dark and light portals. A. Physical objects all around us have ties to the spiritual world and can open portals or gateways of both light and darkness through which light and dark entities may pass. 7. Church of the Firstborn and the 144,000. So we know that Lori thinks she's a translated being, a god, and one of the 144,000 that are picked to basically lead during Jesus Christ's second coming. So she in her eyes, she's a pretty important person, Lori. A. The Church of the Firstborn is a higher organization in God's church in its truest form on earth. So 1. The mysteries of God are revealed to those who have become part of it. 2. Terrestrial blessings and locations begin to be revealed to members. 3. Doctrines add to, but do not replace, those of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. 4. Prophet of the Mormon Church presides over the general congregation, while others are called specifically to run the Church of the Firstborn. 5. Multiple branches throughout the world. B. The 144,000 are called to bring to pass all signs of the second coming of Christ. 1. Multiple groups specializing in different powers and activities. So, I guess the zombie part, I don't know why. I'm trying to think why do they think that they have to, like, why did Lori and Chad, if they believe in these beliefs and the zombie thing here, why do they have to be the one to kill the zombies? I mean, why do they have to kill them? If they think they're zombies, where does it say you have to kill them? Right? I mean, it doesn't say that. Why do they feel like, oh, they're zombies, we have to kill them? It doesn't say they have to kill them. I mean, it just says that the only way to move forward is they have to await death, but it doesn't say that anybody should kill them, right? So why do Lori and Chad take it upon themselves to get rid of these people they think are zombies? Yep, it's just a freaking excuse. It's all for money, I think. Yeah, maybe they still believe, maybe they do believe these beliefs, but they didn't have to kill them. It doesn't say anywhere on here you have to kill the people, so I think that was just for money. Whether they believe this stuff or not, that part of it was to get the insurance money and getting JJ's Social Security checks. Who knows? She was using Tylee's account still, and she thought she was going to be the beneficiary for Charles's. Just all about money. A lot of the deaths are about money. And maybe because they believed that they were zombies and it wasn't them, I guess, if they really did believe that about, like, Charles and the kids, or they did believe that basically somebody else was taking over the body, like demons, and they thought, Charles wasn't Charles, then not only they believed this crazy stuff, but then they wanted the money too, so it was like maybe both are at work here. The beliefs, believing this stuff, then plus added on top of that is the money situation. So maybe Chad was using these beliefs to get Lori to believe this stuff, take care of it, and then knowing that they would get the money too. Or who knows who, I don't know whose idea, I really don't. Maybe they were telling Alex this, making him really believe this. Like, oh, when you kill Charles, it's not really Charles. His body's taken over by this demon Nick Snyder or John Snyder or whatever Snyder. So they basically manipulated him to thinking that it wasn't even Charles. And then whether they believed it or not, they probably promised him some of that money that they thought they were getting, the insurance money. I'm sure Alex was asking about it. And instead of paying him, maybe that's another reason they had to get rid of Alex. They didn't want to pay him the money they probably promised him. sure I'm sure they were gonna pay him something for doing all. I'm sure he's the one that did Tammy too, and maybe the kids. Just hope that we're all wrong about the kids and they are okay. But anyway, so that's that. Some of their beliefs. So whether they're just using it to get what they want, or they really believe this. Could be a intermix if they do believe these beliefs. Plus, they are using that for a way to get some money too. But they do believe it. But plus, they're planning it to make some money off of it by the insurance stuff. So it could be a intermix of the beliefs and greed. And then, man, Barry and Janice Cox, this whole tax thing, they've been doing this for a long time. Here's another one, Cox versus the state of California. And then it actually does say, I found some other stuff about, so there's 9 pages of documents. I could include it at the end. I'm not going to read all through it, but I did want to read the first paragraph. So this is about Barry and Janice Cox, Lori's parents. We know that they had this issue where they didn't want to pay their taxes and didn't feel like they had to pay their taxes. Well, it looks like Barry did spend a year in jail for it. So the lawsuit is plaintiff's latest attempt to avoid the payment of federal income taxes because plaintiffs have not alleged any facts or cited any law that would bring their complaint within this court's jurisdiction. Summary dismissal is appropriate. Background. According to the available court records, plaintiff's odyssey began in the late 1990s when plaintiff Barry L. Cox pled guilty to making a false statement to the Internal Revenue Service in violation of 18 U.S.C. Mr. Cox's sentence imposed on May 3rd, 1999 included incarceration for 12 months and 1 day and the restitution to the IRS in the amount of $232,914. The restitution included the federal income taxes he owed for the 1988 and 1989 and 1990 tax years. Mr. Cox appealed the sentence, contending that he had no tax liability for those 3 years. The United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit rejected the argument and upheld the sentence. So upon his release from prison, Mr. Cox filed several Federal Tort Claims Act suits in federal district court against the United States, the IRS, the United States Department of Justice, and the United States Probation Office. All 3 suits were dismissed, with the district court noting in one of its dismissal orders that Mr. Cox's true intent was collaterally attack his criminal conviction. Mr. Cox appealed that dismissal order, and the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit dismissed the appeal as frivolous. While that appeal was pending, Mr. Cox again attempted to challenge his criminal conviction based on his contention that he had no tax liability for the 1988, 89, and 90 tax years. The district court dismissed the suit, finding Mr. Cox's arguments to be frivolous. And then we know he did it again, and we know that his wife got in trouble for not paying taxes too. So they just kept doing that. There's so much stuff you could read on them and their taxes. So like I said, I won't bore you reading this whole thing. It's only 9 pages really, but I'll include it in the end if you guys want to read it. Because you could tell a lot about someone by learning about their family. You could tell a lot, and sometimes it answers a lot of questions. Things make more sense when you kind of know how they were brought up. I think it will help us try to figure out a lot about Lori, and same with Chad, if we could understand how they were brought up and what kind of upbringing did they have. We know Lori's parents, we know a little bit about them. That kind of says a lot about the whole thinking they're above paying taxes. That kind of shows you their mentality. But as far as knowing about, Melanie, so that'd be Stacy Lynn Ann would be Melanie's mom. Why was she taken away from her mom when she was 6 years old? And then she said when she was 9 that she died. So was she, like I said, was she on drugs? Or was she maybe had some crazy beliefs and was just unstable like Lori with her crazy, maybe she had some kind of mental disorder or something where she was delusional or something. It could be something like that where they had to take her away from her because she wasn't safe with her mom. Or was she abusive? What was it? And then she died when she was only 31. And then if Alex did Alex have something to do with it? Everybody's saying Alex was with her when she died. So is that just a rumor? Or is that just people assuming or thinking that because insulin overdose and was basically the hitman, he's the one killing everybody, so they're thinking that, oh, Alex must have been there with her and he probably did it? Or do you guys know that somehow for sure? Let me know. And if there's any of you guys that are family that would want to, that has some inside information, you want to come on my channel and maybe I can interview you, or you could share some information you may have if you guys are part of any of the families or know anything or friends or anything that would want to come on, let me know. Okay, so we don't have to do a live, we could do a recorded video and upload it on the channel, or we could do a live interview, however you want to do it. But I'm just trying to find out more like inside information, more about the family, more about what was going on inside the family. And did Lori and Alex really have something to do with their sister's death? And why did I just wonder why they took Melanie away from her mom, and what was her dad like, and just have so many questions. And then Chad's kids, like this I feel like some of them are strange. Like that one daughter, I put that clip in the video where she's making faces behind the reporter. Her mom had just died and she's acting kind of weird. And then that other message with one of his kids where she says how the kids are safe, they're fine, everybody will find out. I read it on one of my videos a while ago, but basically going on about how you'll see they're fine, everybody's got it wrong in the media, but that's probably what their dad is telling them, and they're trusting their dad, or your dad's saying, no, the kids are fine, watch. So it just makes me wonder, if they find out they're not, what are Chad's kids going to think? Well, I'm sure Chad will have some kind of an excuse, but maybe, hopefully they are okay then. I mean, what I'm confused is, if they go to trial and then if Lori goes to trial and she still doesn't produce the kids, right? I don't understand why, how does she think then that she's going to get out of jail if she never produces the kid? That's what I don't understand. I mean, she's not, so she has to show us with the kids. So why wait that long? Why are you going to wait till the trial unless if she did something to them, So then she can't produce them. Because if not, then why are you wasting all this money? You're going to have all these court costs and all this time in jail you're spending when you're not going to get out until you produce the kids. So why just wait all this thousands of dollars later and all this jail time? Why wait? Why not just do it real quick so you can have your freedom and stuff? So that's another reason it makes me think that they're not okay. She did something. But I know she's hanging on to that July because she thinks the end of the world is in July. So, I mean, I guess that could be another reason. She's just waiting like, well, July, so I can be in jail in July and wait. But you would think, wouldn't she, if the kids were okay, wouldn't she want to have at least the next few months of freedom before the end of the world? So just produce the kids so she's not in jail, and because the end of the world's coming anyway, in her opinion, in a few months. So why not just show us where the kids are then? You could be out hanging out with Chad and be free. That is, if the kids are really alive. So the more I think about it, it just seems like that would be stupid for her not to produce the kids. I mean, as selfish as she is, there'd be no reason to not, unless she did something to him and she can't produce them. I don't know. Just keep going in circles. It doesn't make sense. Alright guys, there you go, I rambled on again. But yeah, thanks for watching everybody, and hope you guys are all doing good, and email me if you got any information. Email is in my description under the video, and yeah, everybody have a good night. Bye.